Hey Maria, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very good right now. It's been better than the last time we talked. You know, when we talked before the pandemic was like on his full force. Now it's a little bit better. How about you?
I think it had just started when we talked, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I remembered that depression had kicked in at that point. I didn't know it was going to stretch on this long.
yeah. It was bad when everything started, but something that because I talked to you and didn't hear back from you until like yesterday, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
How you been? What have you been up to lately?
So the craziest thing, I actually have not really touched my phone in about 4 months, 3 months. I think it was
Wow,
3 months,
three
and
months.
not just social media. I actually was not using the phone at all. Using it for GPS and uh, you know, internet. I mean, the browser if I needed to, but really not using the phone at all. Wasn't texting. Wasn't doing anything. I wanted to see if I could handle no technology, and I learned a lot actually. It was lonely and sad, but I learned a lot, and I knew that if there was a time to just take a break from social media, I might as well do it now. I'm not doing shows. I'm we have the time off anyway, but it was I you realize how addicted everyone is to the technology when
Yeah.
you get away from it because it consumes you, completely consumes you. It was weird to be away from it for so long.
Have you been training?
Yes, lots of training, lots of working out. I was definitely more focused because I didn't have all that uh, distraction. And I feel like it's with the workouts and stuff. You get so into just showing off with the workouts. Taking the video for Instagram, taking the pictures of your body, and I was taking the pictures of my body every day and obsessing over it. When I stopped doing that, I actually have gotten so much farther at this point because I'm not looking at myself all the time. I'm not trying to get that perfect picture. I'm just bettering myself,
So you're just flowing right now.
just flowing. I'm trying to slowly ease back into the phone right now, slowly.
So, well, that's pretty awesome. You're one special person because it takes a special person to just cut the phone cold
especially when
turkey.
you're especially when you're someone that's uses social media a lot and
Yeah, like I've seen on your feed, people asking, "Is everything okay?"
oh,
You
people thought I
know,
was dead.
right?
People thought
I'm pretty sure if anything happens to you, we will know right away. You know,
yes, you will know. You will
so
know.
so chill, people. Maria Manic is very much alive. She was just taking a break from all you weirdos. Okay,
I'm actually more alive now than I've ever been. I will say that.
so you feel very good.
I feel like myself. I think I know the difference now between me and Maria Manic because Maria Manic's not a real person. She's a wrestler. And I didn't really know who I was because I've been playing this person for so long that you forget that there's a real person that's inside of you. And I now I kind of have it separated, and I wanted to be able to do that because I don't like just living in this fake wrestling character and not really knowing who I am.
Do you feel the character took away a lot of what you really are then?
Yes, and I think the real me is very girly, and the wrestling character became very opposite of that. And but I still like that. I still like both sides. So I think now it's like I can be me, which is very girly and it's very opposite of that. But I can still jump into that and play that when I want to. But I don't want to be stuck like that. I want to be able to do both. And this
So
is how I
it's
started as a wrestler. Was girly like that.
yeah. So we I remember you on your earlier days, very much blonde, uh, like a diva, Maria Manic, and we've seen a transformation that took you to what you are right now, which has actually been pretty successful. But I guess you've been able to actually access that Maria again.
I think everything comes full circle, and I tried so hard to just erase it, like I was embarrassed of it, but I don't know why I was embarrassed of it. You could still be tough and hard, but still be feminine and be girly and be you know you don't have to be an animal all the time. You can human it down sometimes. And
So, could we see now whenever Ring of Honor kicks back again, doing shows, could we see a little bit of a tweak on the persona?
I was thinking about this yesterday. I don't know what it's going to be because right now, I would say what I am right now is as a perfect mixture of the old Barbie Maria and the scary Maria. It's like something in between. I don't know how that's going to come off in the ring, but I think it's going to be more natural because it's a little bit of both. You know, it's not the polar opposites, which you saw like my career. I went from one opposite to the other,
Oh
like,
yeah.
and it was two complete extremes, and I was trying so hard to be those two things and then separate them. But it's like what I have now is it's comfortable. It feels right.
So you're very much in the middle right now.
Yes, very
Well,
much.
that's good. And so let's dig in a little bit on your career because Maria Manic wasn't necessarily always extremely tough. There's been
Yeah,
you said it a couple of times that your first bump was terrible for you.
awful, absolutely
But
awful.
can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Uh, well, I was not actually a very athletic person growing up, so I was not. I mean, I played sports, but I was never fully into it. Uh, so you know, going from not really being athletic to jumping into wrestling, it's not even a sport. It's like it's a
Yeah.
level above that. Uh, I definitely hardened up over time. I was thinking earlier, like I used to be so sensitive to like everything that was said about me. I would get so offended by it, and if someone told me I sucked, I believed this, and I would sit and cry about this and get upset about this. But I had to get upset about it for so long to finally realize that I do not care, and I got to the point where I just completely blocked it all out. And people are so negative in this business. I'm sure you see it. It's way more negative than it is positive, and that's another reason I took a break from the social media stuff. I don't like giving people an open platform to be negative and to share their opinions because usually the opinions are not positive. And it's like we as performers we give them this open platform to just
Yeah.
speak their minds, but these people would never speak their minds in real life. They would never say those things in real life. They don't have that kind of
It's
respect.
and I was that brings us to my next comment. They can be very honest on but very coward at the same time.
Yes, because they're behind the computers, and that's what I don't like. Is I have no problem with the wrestling fans at the shows. Say whatever you want at a show. You scream whatever you want. I'm putting myself out there to be criticized. But on the internet, myself and everyone else, we're not putting ourselves out there to be criticized. We're giving everybody free content. You know what I mean? We're putting so much into this. You see all the people, all the wrestlers, they put so much into their social media, and they just get criticized. It's like you're getting free content, and you're the ones watching it. So why? I don't understand the negativity. Like save that for the wrestling show. But that's the problem is that nowadays more of the fans are online than they are at the shows.
Yeah, it's and I tell you, man, it's terrible the way people feel the entitlement of
Yes,
being able to. I mean, you can voice your opinion, but it's not like you are. It's not like you have the right to actually run somebody over with your opinion.
but
Sometimes
it's
it.
the internet that gives them this feeling like they have the power to do these things. Like I said, they would never say these things in real life.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's what I hate about the internet so much. I'm not about the internet right now. Like I said, I'm trying to slowly get back to it, but I don't like it. I feel like it's ruining our world. I really feel like that.
I mean, I'll tell you, especially nowadays, it's the internet is not the best place to be. To be honest, it's
No.
just
And you get completely soaked into it. I realized this when I got away from it. Like it's like you get mentally locked into it, and you forget that there's a real world outside of it. Like it's not it's not. I think it gives people egos sometimes because they're getting this attention, but it's not real attention. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
mean, it can be real support, I suppose, but it's it's not. It's like to me, the internet doesn't give me that validation. I like the validation of going in front of a wrestling crowd and having people chant my name. That's what I need. I don't get
I
anything
don't.
off internet attention.
I don't know if you ever seen when they said, "What if Instagram disappears tomorrow and you're no longer a model? Uh, what if the internet disappears tomorrow and you no longer have balls?" Because a lot of people will voice and
Oh
say
yeah,
everything through the internet, but you'd know that if it wasn't because it's the internet, otherwise you wouldn't be saying what you're saying. And I feel like people take the liberty sometimes to make every types of opinions, especially in wrestling. We have this. Everybody could have booked a show better than the people who did it. Everybody could have done a spot better. It's crazy. I don't listen to these forums that much anymore because it's terrible.
I just hate that nowadays it's like it doesn't mean anything to be famous anymore. When I was a kid, I wanted fame. Like I wanted to be in magazines. I wanted to have paparazzi around me. That to me was fame. But nowadays, now that I'm actually in the world as an adult, it's like people just can become famous because they're a hot
Yeah,
girl on the internet. It's like no one really earns anything anymore. I don't like it.
and there a lot of people get famous for we don't know why they're famous. They're famous because they're famous.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Like you said, what if Instagram disappeared? Like a lot of these people, what do you have? Like, did you do something with that Instagram and that social media that like, the wrestlers they have something. They're
Hmm.
showing a talent, but a lot of people they're getting famous for absolutely nothing, and it builds egos in these young people's minds, and I don't like that.
Yeah, it's a bad place to be in. And now that you said that you've been off for so long, what type of activities have you been engaging in other than working out to actually just let your mind go somewhere else?
I do a lot of walking. I walk my pit bull. We uh, walk through fields, trails. I like doing that. I talk to myself a lot. I do. I
Nothing
like
wrong
to
with
do
that.
that. If you're alone, if you're spending time alone, you have to talk to yourself because if you sit there and isolate your own mind, you're gonna go crazy. I have to get my thoughts out, so I talk to myself. I walk. I exercise. I'm watching a lot of TV. I'm bored. I'm very bored. I'll say that.
Any shows specifics that you've been watching?
Uh, Lots of cartoons. Family Guy. Uh, Simpsons, Bob's Burgers. I started watching Disney. I love Disney Channel still
You
to
got
this day.
any favorite Family Guy episode?
I don't have a favorite episode. I love Family Guy though.
Uh,
South
uh,
Park.
Family Guy, it's my one of my favorite shows. The Office has got to be number one, but
I've never seen Office.
oh my god, don't do it because it's like it's
I
terrible
don't.
once you start.
There's no shows that are not cartoons besides Disney Channel or Nickelodeon that I've watched. I've heard that's funny though. I have heard it's funny.
It's a very I don't know, like there's a lot of cringe on that on that show, like a lot of cringe comedy, very uncomfortable comedy,
Yeah, I
shit like
can't.
that.
I can't watch wrestling. It'll depress me just with the empty crowds. I
Oh,
can't
it's
even watch
terrible.
it.
I mean like WWE did something real cool with the Thunderdome, but it's hard, man. It's hard because you're used to the energy. It's the energy is not there. You know, it's like an equation that is not complete because you don't have that part, which is the public. And
I can't imagine how the people in WWE feel. It's like, I understand it because I wrestle in front of smaller crowds, but they're wrestling in front of sold out arenas every week, multiple times a week, and then nothing. I couldn't handle that.
has Ring of Honor said anything about when they might be doing shows again?
Uh, we're doing TV tapings soon, but there's no audience. I know
Okay,
that.
so.
So
And this, I don't think this is going to slow down anytime soon because now we got flu season around the corner, and you know the fear is going to be just as bad all around the United States. You know, people get the flu, they think they got coronavirus. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be crazy. So right now we we've seen you, you know, Ring of Honor. We've seen you having some crazy hardcore matches in the past. Um, are you there?
can you hear me?
Yep. What was the last
Uh,
thing you heard?
you said flu season.
Oh yeah, yeah. That you know, flu season is coming back, and they probably will think everybody has COVID because they have the flu more than likely, and it's probably gonna be bad. You know, in the next
Someone
coming months.
someone someone told me maybe 2 years. I can't believe that.
I mean, right now I'm just living my life day by day because it's this is terrible. This is
It it feels like the hardest part for me is it feels like the days and the time is not separated. Like usually I work hard on the weekdays, and then I know I have a show on the weekend, and I have that reward, and then I start the week over. It feels like it. I feel like I've been living in one long day for the last since this all started. Like, because there's nothing to break it up.
It's definitely been a crazy experience for everybody. Everybody had so many plans. Like I had so many plans, and what I told you, I'm actually working a show right now with no people on a very small venue when I had dates already separated. But it is what it is. We're gonna work it out.
See, I can't
So,
even like most people get satisfaction going out and partying and drinking and hanging out with friends. I don't really like to do that. Like I will do that, but I like to perform. I don't really like regular interactions. I like to be in front of a crowd, and I don't have that. It's killing me. It's killing me. But I think it's good to. I am happy to have time to really change my look and get my body where I want it to be. It's hard to get your body where you want it to be when you're constantly having to prepare for shows, because you can't really just like you can't do a proper bulk, you can't do a proper cut because you're always just trying to look good for that show. Now I have a long period of time that I can really, you know, get myself where I want to be.
are you being
That's
more
all I have to
flexible?
focus on.
Are you being more flexible with the whole training, nutrition? Are you following a specific program right now?
Uh, Not specifically. I've been trying to do more. I'm trying to just lean out a little bit instead of because
Hmm.
I've bulked for so many years. I was just putting on size. Now I'm doing a less heavy weights, more like longer exercises with very light weights. Do a lot of reps and I have so much time too. I used to just go to the gym and kill it for an hour. Now it's like I have a pair of dumbbells. I'll sit here for 3 hours and slowly do a workout, and it just makes the time go by faster. Like I said, there's nothing to really separate my days, so I kind of have to get excited about the exercise because I know it's lame to get excited about exercise, but when you have nothing else to be motivated by, it's like you have to find something.
So everything got much simpler for you this past 3 months.
It's a simpler but harder too. Definitely harder.
So right now, what's your? You don't have any dates right now for the tapings or anything, right?
I think I think it's gonna be in maybe late October or November.
Okay,
Don't mark that because I'm not sure. I think
so probably towards the end of the year.
probably.
Okay, so what's right now? Are you working on any? Because I know we've seen you doing the very stiff type of wrestling. Now that you've been leaning out, changing the looks, are you looking to work on a different type of style? Because you were
Uh
working a lot of intergender programs, right?
huh.
Are
I
you?
think uh I think I'm gonna stay with the same kind of style, but I've definitely been a lot uh putting a lot of effort into like promos. Not even promos like direct corny wrestling promos, but just talking. Like I said, I talk to myself, but I think all wrestlers should do that because I'm getting
Yeah,
comfortable.
yeah,
And I address people even if they're not around. I address random. I pick someone that I'm going to talk to that day, and I just talk to them all day. And I'm practicing talking to people because a lot of these wrestlers they're really good in the ring, but they're just not interesting. They don't
yeah.
have they can't put it on like they can't turn on the gimmick. They don't have anything, and it's like that's so important. I didn't realize how important it was, and I think I was trying so hard before when I was doing promos to be in character, but if I just stay as myself and get mad, like I'm perfectly calm right now. I'm perfectly happy, but if I get mad as myself, it's actually better than me trying to do this persona that I was trying to do, which was like it was very corny. If I just act like myself, it's you can tell it's genuine. But that's fun for me is the promo stuff. I didn't realize how fun that is.
So you're pretty much cutting promos around the house all
Yep.
day long.
Yeah. It's really helping me though because I was not comfortable talking like that. Even to myself, I wouldn't want to talk like that. But now I'm perfectly comfortable with it. And you have to do it alone for a little bit first because you can't just jump on a microphone and become comfortable. You know, you got to slowly get used to it and you start to learn yourself. Like I understand my mind now. Every time I used to talk on the mic, I had no idea what was going to come out. I didn't know what I wanted to say. Now I have all my thoughts organized because I've been talking out loud and understanding what's going on in my own head because there's a lot of thoughts in my head.
So when you cut promos now, are you more structured on what are you gonna say?
Not at
And
all.
not at all.
I like it better like that though, because I'm awful at memorizing things. Awful,
Okay.
absolutely awful. So when I'm cutting a promo that I've memorized, it just you can tell that it's not coming out naturally.
Okay.
I like to have a topic,
Hmm.
maybe a person or a situation, but I don't like to have a script. I don't. You can tell when someone's talk, and that's what I don't like with some of the TV stuff is like you can tell they're all just reciting lines. You can tell that they wouldn't say that. You know what I mean?
So you do a
So
lot of
every
improvising a lot, right?
yeah, and I try to make it come from the heart, so it's not I because I think about when I'm watching other people. I hate when I'm watching someone and I know that someone else wrote it for them, and it's not something that they would say.
So
Everything I
you've definitely been changing your craft. You've been actually perfecting your craft on this little break you took from social media.
The talking
So
is so important because you can teach anyone how to do the moves. You can teach anyone how to be a good wrestler. Anybody. It could take a while, but anybody can learn that. You can't teach someone how to be interesting and how to be intriguing. You can't teach that. You either have it or you don't. You have to figure it out on your own. And I think I did have it. I think I've always had an intriguing appearance,
yeah,
but I didn't know how to get it out in words, I guess.
and people can tell, especially a live audience, they can tell when somebody's killing it on a promo. So I mean, you have the looks since day one, blonde, not blonde. You know, you have the looks, you have the physique, you look like a wrestler.
Yeah.
So I guess the whole getting better in the microphone thing. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to see that on a live audience because that's the ultimate judge. You know, the
It
people,
is.
how they react, and there's no better feeling to know that you are holding these people here in the palm of your hand.
I know. That's why I'd be sad though to like if we have this TV taping and then there's still no crowd. It's like, but I think maybe that's because I haven't wrestled in a while in front of a well, in a ring, so maybe it'd be nice to kind of get used to it first without a crowd, and then slowly ease back into it. I'm sure everyone else is as just as depressed as I am. I keep forgetting that like everybody else is going through this too. It's not just me. I in my mind I feel like I'm the only one that's suffering, but it's like even the non wrestling people, like everybody probably had something that they're not getting to have anymore.
Yesterday, I went to get dinner. I was in Allentown, and I stopped to get dinner at a place, and I realized I couldn't get out with my family because I have only one mask in the car. So it's just that's those simple things like that. So it could be either going to a wrestling show and having no wrestling show, or having no chance to actually have dinner with your family. So yeah, everybody is on the
Is
going through this.
everything is everything open by you?
Well, yeah, but like if you want to go inside, you still gotta wear your mask and stuff. So you know, but
I think
everything's
when we
open.
talked last, I think the gyms were shut down, right?
Oh yeah,
When we
everything was terrible last time we talked.
yeah, that was
And
awful.
when we talked last time was the what was this gentleman that died around May? George Floyd.
Uh-huh.
The whole riots and stuff have popped up. It was very tense, you know. I mean, it's still tense, especially closer to November, but it was a really tense time to be in. Quick question. I know you always look for ways to improve your image with the tattoos. Anything new that you got in mind that you might want to get in as far as
Uh,
tattoos?
I have not gotten anything new, unfortunately, but I do have a couple of things I'm thinking about. I want to get on my back, my lower back. I want to get like a something in the middle. I don't know what it's going to be in the middle, but then an angel and a devil on both sides,
Okay.
like fighting over it, because that's how I feel in my head all the time. And then
S- So,
probably want to finish this sleeve. I think I want to finish this. I want to have sleeves. I already have this one done. Finish this one, and then I have my right calf done, so probably finish the left calf, and then that's all I want to do.
when you and going back a little bit, when you were doing your first appearances, working as a baby Maria, what made you say, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. What was that moment? What was the time maybe that make you click and change the script?
It was actually not even wrestling. It was like everything that you see me do in wrestling is because of my real life. Because my real life is wrestling. I don't really have a life outside of wrestling. Now I'm discovering who I am, but I didn't really know that before. I think I was just like I actually loved the look I had, but nobody respected me with the look. Nobody thought I was. It's like they see like blonde bimbo. They think untalented, stupid, mean. Like just everyone had problems with. Like I felt like when I would meet people, they already had a problem with me. They just assumed I was going to be a certain way, and they didn't respect me. No one. I, I like I knew at that point I probably wasn't going to be respected, but I'd rather be feared than disrespected. And because fear and respect are kind of the same thing. So I guess the anger made me want to just kind of build this new person. And also in life, I'm very alone. Like I spend a lot of time alone. Most young girls don't do that. They don't have to take care of themselves like that. So I kind of created this person that felt more like a guy almost, so the guy could kind of take care of me as the girl. You know what I mean? It sounds crazy,
I
but
understand what you're saying.
I don't know. I felt very vulnerable all the time as what I was, and I wanted to feel safe in the world without having to have a guy protecting me. I wanted to be able to protect myself, and I didn't want people to. I didn't want people to just walk all over me because they didn't. Which is crazy because at that point I've always been the same person. I should have deserved the same respect back then as I have now, but I didn't get it back then at all. People were not nice to me at all.
So you pretty much did it as a way to stand out from the prototype of wrestler that would have been, because there's probably 20,000 blondes in wrestling, 20,000 Barbie looking female wrestlers in the sport. So you did it as a way to stand out from the crowd, I guess.
I think too it was kind of a rebellion thing actually because when I first got into wrestling, I was told that to get into WWE, you couldn't like they don't want you to have tattoos. They want you to have this, this like you said, this stereotypical look. And when I did the first WWE tryout and I got told no, I was so sad. Which is not that big of a deal, like because they always bring people back. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have let this kill me, but I just didn't care at that point because I realized I was doing I was trying to keep myself perfect for this one thing. So then when I thought it was off the table, it was like, oh, I don't care anymore. I'm not going to try to be this person anymore. I'm just going to completely rebel. I rebelled too hard and became something I'm not. But like I said, what I am now is perfect because it's a mixture of that rebellious me, but also the person I was in the beginning, which is they're both too far extremes. I need
Yeah.
something that's in the
So
middle.
now that you're in the middle, where in the past couple months you said, "Holy shit, maybe I need to pump up the brakes a little bit and meet halfway." When did this happen?
Uh, this happened probably about 6 months ago.
Okay.
I would say probably when the quarantine started, actually.
So it's been an ongoing conversation in your head that maybe you need to do a little bit of a change.
I think too, when you're constantly wrestling and you're doing the social media stuff, you're always in character. But when it's all stopped, I was like, I don't need to. Like, I'm not entertaining anybody. I'm not. No one's. I'm not putting on a show for anyone. So like, I don't need to keep up with this character anymore. But I had been doing that for 5 years straight, so I didn't even know who I was. So I kind of just. I didn't plan to. I didn't say, oh, I'm gonna find a middle half of who I am. I didn't think that was gonna happen, but it kind of happened on its own. And I don't know. Maybe I went back to the natural hair. No more hair extensions. No more hair color. This is the real me. I don't wear much makeup right now. I feel like myself for the first time. I felt very fake for a while. Like I always had, I was always altering myself so much. But I think now I look the best as my actual self.
And you know what? As I'm listening to you, I had a meditation on something that I saw in you about a year ago. I remember when you went and did that geek. at the dealership with me.
Yes.
Uh, I remember looking at you. Physique looked phenomenal. The guys were offended when you walked by, but you also wore a lot of makeup. And now that you are telling me all this, I can see the fight between those two personas. You trying to change your looks as a more fearful person, but at the same time, I'm still gonna wear my makeup, and it was that conflict between the two.
I
I
was I
guess
was wearing I was wearing so much makeup too, and I was a very pretty girl under the makeup, without the makeup. Like most girls are trying to cover something. I had nothing to cover, and so I'm looking back thinking, why was I didn't need to do
exactly,
that.
exactly. And that was my first impression. Like, I said, you look impressive. You don't need that, because to me, you look you're not an ugly person. So I don't know. It's a good thing, Maria. It's a good thing that this is happening. You're very young, and I think you still have a lot more successful stuff to come. So I'm definitely very happy to see this. I feel like I'm talking to a different Maria comparing to the Maria I talked 3 months ago.
I think
Um,
I call them three different people. It's the blonde me, the black haired me, and this one.
and
No
the
one's ever met this one though.
and the Buddha and the Buddhist Maria.
Yes.
So
I
are you
think,
doing
what'd you say?
are you doing like meditation or stuff like that? Be honest, Maria. You can
Meditation?
tell us.
I have
Yeah.
never meditated in my life. I have no patience. No patience. I can sit through a 3 hour workout easily, but I can't meditate. I've been stretching actually. I used to never stretch. I started doing that.
How do you feel? I don't want to say spiritually, but I want to say maybe I want to say spiritually. How do you feel compared to a couple of months ago? Do you feel more centered?
I
Maybe
You
the
know
word.
what's funny? I've never had religious thoughts in my life. Never, if that's what you mean.
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
in
yeah.
my life. In the past 3 months I've been like talking out loud to God and Jesus, like never something I've ever done in my life. And I'm not doing it for show. Like a lot of people do it to look like a good person. They're praying and stuff. I'm not really doing that, but I do feel connected to something. I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like even when I'm completely alone, that there is someone that there's maybe they can't come into my world and say something, but they are there watching over. I feel that. And it sounds creepy, like, oh, someone's watching over me, but it's a good feeling because I am alone so much. It's good to know that I finally feel like, because I used to think that life was just made no sense and that there was no plan for anything. I feel like now there is a set plan for everybody's life. So even if things are tough right now, there is an end plan for me. It's just not here yet, but it's gonna get there.
If stuff gets back to normal, where do you think Maria Manic will be in 6 months? Not just as a wrestler, but as a person.
I think as a person, physically, I think I'll be at my best. I think I'll be looking like a different person at the point because I'm already looking a lot different now,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm fine. Everything's clicking. Like it takes a long time. It takes years of exercise to really understand eating, like to understand how to really do it. And I'm finally figuring all the stuff out because I've made so many mistakes for so many years. I'm finally learning like the right ways to do stuff, and I can see it all coming together. Like it's slowly piecing itself together. So I think I'll be at the best physical place I've ever been at, and I think being at that best physical place will give me confidence to take me to a new place mentally.
How's your body feeling now that you don't have to actually put that toll on your body as far as the bumps and all that? Because you've been taking a pretty good break from hitting the mat. So how are you feeling body wise?
Much better. I mean, towards the end though, I was doing a lot more. Uh, I was doing more of giving the moves, I guess. So it wasn't that bad. But back, like 3 years ago on the Indies when I was wrestling the boys, taking bumps all the time and doing death matches, that was awful. I didn't realize how much I was killing myself.
You were putting some crazy hardcore matches, man.
When you're doing it all the time, though, you don't even realize that it's crazy. Like now, looking back at it, like I realize how insane that is that I was doing that. It's scary. It's scary to look back old stuff of mine. Like I can't believe I did some of it. It doesn't feel like I did that. It was like a different person did it.
So I'm pretty sure you're not a person to have many regrets, but would you do more of that nowadays, or you think that's something that is past?
I definitely don't regret it. I think I needed to do it because it hardened me up. I needed to do it. I don't think I would ever do that consistently again, but I think that if it was the right situation, I would definitely like to. In the future, I would like to do uh, a couple more, but it has to be the right thing. Because I was before I was doing it just to do it. It's like do it when the moment's right. Do it when you've really built something up with someone and it's
Yeah,
appropriate. Don't just do it because you're knocking off the numbers. Like, oh, I did this many death matches. Like,
yeah. It's
doesn't need to be like that.
you're gonna be known as that girl. If you keep doing it for too long.
I think I didn't realize the talent I had before, so I thought I had to do all that to get noticed. But now I realize that I have a lot of things I can provide without even taking bumps. Like I said, that's where the talking comes in. Like I don't need to do all that crazy shit. I can do it, and I proved to everyone I can do it, but I don't need to keep doing that.
I think your career has been very, very interesting. I'll explain you why. You started obviously green, uh, with the girly persona. You started doing some crazy hardcore matches. Then you went to ROH and they started polishing
Hmm.
you, and you started. Everything was coming together so perfectly, and then COVID strike.
You know what I
But
think though? Everything has to die for it to come back stronger. So maybe wrestling, and in my opinion, wrestling as a whole, like all leagues, it has not been good for the last, I'd say 5, 10 years compared to what it was.
oh yeah, yeah, I know.
So maybe it needs to die for a little bit, and then it comes back and it's better than it ever was.
I mean, it's probably cyclical, and hey, maybe it will be a boom now that after everything opens, everybody's gonna go crazy.
Oh,
Everybody's
exactly.
gonna want to go to all the shows. So hopefully that happens, and everything comes back to normal in a better way, I
I think
guess.
it will. I think everything happens for a reason. Like I said, I think. I also think talking about like a plan. There's no way that I somehow randomly got on this path in life if there's not a plan for me. There's no because it's so ironic. Like it's not just a coincidence that I've done all the things I've done. I think it all happened because it's part of a path. And I can't see the ending, but I know that there is a good one. I know that.
And it's something that you said, that you acknowledge that there's something uh, out there looking out for you with a plan.
I
Uh,
don't know what it is, but I know
it's
it
just like
exists.
I tell every night or anytime I'm in trouble, hey, whatever you are, whoever you are, and wherever you are, I just want to let you know that X, Y, Z,
Yeah.
because it could be very different from what you've been told. I've been told. So as long as you feel it's in here and here, then I think
I
you'll
find
be
myself talking to it all the time. I say, please get me from here to here safely. Please keep me safe in this situation. Like I was never doing that before. And again, I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know if it's even religious. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
I think it's more spiritual than religious. You know what I mean? And once you
What is the
understand,
what is the difference? I don't know what the difference is.
well, religious is more of a systematic thing, you know, of a institutional thing. Spiritual is when you understand that you are connected with that being, with the oneness of the universe. I don't want to get too deep.
They say that one is connected to everybody, correct? So it's a part
Oh,
of
we
everything.
all are, and listen. In life, you are connected to everything because everything vibrates. You are vibrating. I am vibrating. This table is vibrating. Your headphones are vibrating. Everything. So we are all vibrating in some type of frequency. But as long as you are connected to love, and you try to find love in everything, and it can be hard sometimes. Sometimes you want to punch people in the mouth, but everything will work out better for you because you are vibrating pretty much in frequency with God. And that's what I like to believe. That's actually what I follow.
Mm.
Uh, and somehow we went a little deep in this train of thought. So,
I've been thinking about this stuff a lot. It's hard to. I don't like to get too into it because like there's no explanation for it. No one can explain it to you. But I do think about it a lot, and taking a break from the phone really opened my mind to all this stuff. I was so just sucked into that world, like I forgot that there's an actual world outside.
I mean, and I don't know if I want to say this with now that we're recording, but you gotta understand these when you go on social media, a lot of people want you to be focusing on all that negativity, all that crazy stuff that is happening because the more you put your attention to it, it becomes reality in your life, and you're gonna manifest that in your life. That's why you gotta disconnect from all that and connect more to God, whatever God is in your life. So that you can manifest more of that, more of the good stuff in your life. And I can see that in you. You cut off all the BS and you're making changes. And I really hope that you keep on this great path and many, many more good things happen to you, man.
We got to plan for an interview in 6 months, and we'll see where I'm at.
When you are around town, just let me know and I'll make arrangements.
Where do you live?
I'm here.
Jersey?
No, I'm here next to the MCW Arena.
Oh, you're in. Is that Baltimore? Oh, Joppa, Maryland.
Joppa, yeah, I'm here in Joppa. So if you're going
I'll
back
be. I'll
to,
be. Yeah. I'll be with it. Actually, yeah. I'll be close. I wouldn't mind that at all.
yeah, we got to do something because I think you're a good person. I've worked with you now 3 times, and we've always have some good conversations when we talk. So I'm more than willing to work with you.
I definitely love that.
So now we've been here
That
for about 42 minutes, give or take. Anything you want to tell your fans now that you made it back to social media and in the internet?
I don't know what to say. I'm not dead. I say there's a lot of things that I can't really explain right now, but I think like I said, I'm on a path, and there's things that are in the process. There are things that are happening that are not fully put together yet, but they're on the way. And I think it will include more than just wrestling.
And people just know that life it's life and that's it, okay, people? So just she's alive. She wasn't kidnapped by aliens, abducted by aliens or anything like that.
I
So
wish that would be fun. I wish something like that would
listen,
happen.
sometimes I wish the Anunnaki come and pick me up because this is, I don't
I've
know,
been
just
I've been thinking a lot about the alien stuff. I'm interested in that.
somebody. It's 2020. We've had a little bit of everything. Somebody tell me when the aliens are about to pop up and come in because I wouldn't be surprised if that shit actually
Mantente en
happens.
sintonía con la PRWA suscribiéndote en nuestro canal de YouTube PRWA Back to Attack. Dale like en Facebook PRWA y síguenos en Instagram @PRWA Back to Attack.